Part 2 of Full Court Press Basketball Debate, June 24th, 2015. Chris Guyette here with Yvonne Juno. DeMarcus Cousins is in the news a lot lately. I'm going to start by saying that DeMarcus Cousins has a 4-year deal with Sacramento. He's there for another 4 years under contract. Now that...
How much was it to begin with? How many years was it to begin with?
5.
Good Lord.
5. But he had a rookie contract and then he signed a big contract.
Oh, I was about to say.
He's got 4 years left on his contract, worth $60-something million. But that doesn't mean they can't trade him. Any player is up for trade unless they have a no-trade clause in their contract, which is very, very rare. So, George Karl, new head coach of Sacramento, who debuted midway through the season, wants to trade DeMarcus Cousins. But Sacramento's owner will not let him. Your thoughts on this, and should Sacramento trade Cousins? Why or why not?
I have no thoughts on this because I need to ask a couple of questions because I don't have enough information.
Absolutely.
Okay? And I don't mind admitting that.
Absolutely.
Okay. Number one.
Because this is a folklore right here.
Okay. Number one. Okay. Is there controversy or ill feelings, and has there been any kind of...
Oh, big time. Between Cousins and the front office and the owners? Yes, big time.
Okay. Whose fault is it and what's it about?
It's both. It's because...
I know Cousins has a short fuse.
Yes, that's number one. Number two, DeMarcus Cousins feels like the team should be built around him, and that the front office has not made enough moves, coaching wise and staff wise and player wise, to make that happen. It's argumentative from both sides. And then they fired Mike Malone, who Cousins had a great relationship with, and hired George Karl, who Cousins does not have a great relationship with.
There's a recipe for
George
disaster,
Karl is not. I mean,
this
this is the same guy that threw Allen Iverson and Carmelo Anthony out of Denver. Is George Karl.
Right.
So
I knew that.
So.
But I didn't know how he got along with Cousins.
No. It's a folklore.
Well then, honey, it's a recipe for disaster. It's never going to work.
So should they trade him?
No. Yeah.
Why? Because of all that drama?
Drama relates to the floor whether you want it to or not. It's all well and good to say, okay, we're in the locker room. Okay, we're at practice. Okay, we're at summer camp. We're going to deal with all of this, and words get exchanged, and there's ill feelings and all that. Then the season starts, and everybody says, okay, now we need to leave it here and go out there. That does not happen.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. You can say it all you want. It carries on to the floor. Okay? And if there's already problems to begin with, what the hell makes you think next season's going to be any better? If they only went through half a season together with all this. And why does the owner not want to get rid? That was my second question, because I don't know.
Well, because he's a fantastic player. That's a very simple answer.
I understand that. Okay.
He doesn't want to do anything to detriment the team.
Okay.
As far as you're getting rid of a top big man in the league.
Okay. Then you got one of two choices. Because you're the owner. You got to decide what's more important to you. What your top player feels and how he feels about George Karl, or are you going to sit George Karl down and tell him, you got to learn to get along with this guy, because I'm not getting rid of him.
What's more important, the coach or winning?
Right. Just like we said earlier, that Blatt needs to be a coach, regardless of LeBron's status. The owner needs to tell the coach, you got to make friends, and you've got to learn how to work with Cousins. Pull Cousins aside and say, look, I'm not getting rid of George Karl. He's here to stay. You got to learn how to work with your coach. But as long as there's this back and forth in this controversy, it's a recipe for disaster. And if it's not going to work, and Cousins being the obstinate, bull-headed person that he is, I don't see Cousins knuckling under. I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't.
As he should.
I see him making certain concessions and maybe learning to keep his mouth shut a little more.
As he has.
Right.
I think he
see an
improved on that
improvement.
big time.
I do too. At least he's not trying to pick fist fights
Correct.
on the floor. Okay? But we both know, regardless of how much he's changed,
The fuse is there.
he's got a very
And it will
short
forever
fuse.
be there.
Absolutely.
Look at Paul Pierce.
Absolutely. But George Karl is not the type to put up with anything, even to the point that he gets rid of good people just because there's a personality conflict. He's done that in the past.
Same guy that kept J.R. Smith over Iverson and Carmelo.
Right, how stupid was that? I mean, really? So,
Here's my take. Here's my take, and I'm going to open a door for you that you might not have thought about, and that a
Okay.
lot of people might not have thought about.
okay. I mean, people need to know their roles.
That I agree with you about. But I'm going to open up a door.
97.
I'm going to open up a door for you and for everybody else that's listening. That just popped in my head. I feel that the only two big men that I would put as far as skill over DeMarcus Cousins would be Anthony Davis and Dwight Howard. Those are the only two big guys that I would take over DeMarcus Cousins in today's league. Okay? I'm not counting Tim Duncan because I don't think he's coming back. If Duncan does come back, I'll put him above. Where I'm going with that is that I think that the owner is holding him hostage. And the reason I say that is because of this. The Sacramento Kings organization has been nothing but an unmitigated disaster since 2004. Their whole organization, their whole front office is an atrocity of the highest order, as is evident by this situation. You should never have this happen with your star player.
No, it shouldn't get to this point.
Now let me ask you this. Do you see Sacramento doing any damage within the next 4 years in the Western Conference?
No.
Then why hold him
And
hostage?
especially not if they get rid of Cousins.
Okay,
But let the man go.
thank you.
Let him go and make a name. Look, let me tell you something about Cousins. With his personality, his short fuse, and on top of that, he's very talented and skilled. There's both extremes there for his playing skill and his versus his personality. He goes anywhere else, it's just like what's happening in Sacramento. He is either going to go one extreme or the other. He's either going to learn to keep his mouth shut, buckle down, and rely on his skill and be a success, or he's going to fall flat on his face because nobody is going to put up with the BS.
I think that you are holding DeMarcus Cousins hostage because you're putting off the inevitable. You mean to tell me 4 years from now that you don't think he's going to leave anyway?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be heading foot out the door anyway.
Actually, by that time, he'll be so angry.
He's going to be out the door anyway. Why are you putting off the inevitable? You're wasting $68 million. You're wasting it.
Baby, if I was the owner, because that's really the only player you've got that you can say.
Outside of Rudy Gay, who shows up every other night.
Yeah. I mean, why would you want to get rid of the only person who might make a difference for your team?
Okay, but that's the thing.
I understand where the owner's coming from.
Yeah, but see, I don't. Because if you're not going to make any moves to try and improve the team and build the team, you got 4 years to build a team around a top 5 big man in the league.
And
why not do it?
And nobody's going to want to play with him because he's going to be so angry that...
But he wouldn't be angry if the owner would just listen to
Right.
it.
It's a
You're
recipe for
putting
disaster.
off the inevitable,
Yeah.
so we're going to hold him hostage.
Yeah, it's a recipe for disaster.
This is just an unmitigated disaster.
Yeah.
This is an unmitigated
Yeah.
disaster. This is an atrocity of the highest order.
It's only going to get worse.
It's terrible.
Definitely not going to get
Let the man go. He made a name for himself in Sacramento.
Right.
What could he do
Right.
in a big marketplace?
Yeah. And how would you like to be coached by somebody that you know doesn't want you on the team?
What the hell?
Are you kidding
What the hell
me?
are we missing
what
here?
What kind of incentive is that?
What the hell are we missing here? Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson, a top 25 player ever. Fair to say?
Yeah.
In my opinion, a top 15, top 10 player
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Okay? Carmelo Anthony, probably the most prolific offensive player that we have in this league today,
I agree.
got rid,
And honestly,
threw them out
okay, Allen
for
Iverson.
J.R. Smith.
Allen Iverson was controversial. What is there negative to say about Carmelo?
Yeah, Allen Iverson was controversial, but by the time he got to Denver, he was over his Philadelphia stage.
Okay, but my point is, out of all three of them, Cousins, Iverson, Anthony, what can you say negatively about Carmelo Anthony that
Nothing.
would make you want to get rid of him?
Nothing.
Are you kidding me?
Nothing.
You found so much fault with Anthony, with his talent, that you got rid of him? Maybe somebody needs to look and see what's wrong with George Karl.
Thank you. This is an atrocity of the highest order.
He's going to be so angry.
Phil Jackson criticizes LeBron and NBA offenses. He says, quote, that LeBron travels every other time he catches the ball, and the NBA offenses, it's unbelievable how they play these days.
Because he's a dinosaur.
What's your take, Yvonne?
Yes, LeBron does travel sometimes that they don't catch. But a lot of the players do.
Every one
Yeah.
of the players.
Let's be
do.
perfectly honest. Phil Jackson is saying this, number one, because he's not on the court coaching a team anymore.
Let me see if you're going to say it.
Okay. Number two, because he's from the dinosaur era. Okay. He does not like change. He does not like the way things are done now. He doesn't want the moles to change, the roles to change. He wants people to play the way they used to. But more important than anything else, I think it's jealousy.
Oh, bingo! Yes. She said it. She said it.
I think he's jealous.
She said it.
He doesn't have his own team.
No, I don't think that's what he's jealous about.
And he's jealous that other coaches are making it work.
Nope. I don't think that's what he's jealous of.
What's he jealous
I
about?
think he's jealous of LeBron.
Oh,
Phil Jackson never went to 5 straight finals. You ever thought about that?
no. Do you honestly think that all of this boils down to being jealous of one
Yes.
person?
Yes, it does.
Really?
Because if you can call out the best player in the world, you're making a statement for yourself. And you're making your case known. And you're putting it out there. You say something about LeBron James, it's worldwide news. Especially if it's critical of
But
him.
he's not a player anymore. Why
It doesn't matter. Because that's the way he played. Because that's the way he thinks. Phil Jackson thinks. Phil Jackson is not a god. First of all. First of all.
His playing days are over.
First of all, Phil Jackson is not a god.
His playing days are
I'm
over.
going to tell you why I think Phil Jackson. Is there any doubt in my mind that he is a basketball genius? No. But I think Phil Jackson is highly overrated as a head coach. And here's why. Yes, he's got 11 rings. You want to start naming the players that he coached?
Yeah.
Jordan, Shaq, Kobe.
He couldn't
Just
lose.
to name a few.
He couldn't lose.
Pippen, Rodman,
Yeah.
Ori, Fisher.
It's it's the players that won the rings for him. It's not him. on
Let
the
me
court.
start naming some of
Yeah.
the players he coached.
Yeah.
And Phil Jackson never went to 5 straight finals. There has never been a player
Yeah.
outside of 2 Boston Celtics that have been to 5 straight finals besides LeBron James. I think this is jealousy. You mean to tell me Phil Jackson never traveled in his career? You mean to tell me that LeBron James is the only one that travels in the NBA?
Well, shame on him at his age for being jealous of LeBron.
He should be jealous of LeBron.
If it is what you say
he should be jealous of LeBron.
For him to be making these derogatory comments?
That's Phil Jackson. That's Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson is not this godly figure. And excuse me, your team won 18 games last season. Why are you talking?
Right.
Why in the hell are you talking,
right.
Mr. Triangle Offense?
Right.
Why in the hell are you even opening your mouth?
Right.
Shut up!
Yeah.
18 wins!
Yeah, because Jason Kidd didn't want to do what he was being told to do after he realized...
You mean Derek Fisher?
I mean Derek Fisher. When he realized it's just not working.
Shut up!
He was still told he had to...
Why are you speaking?
Yeah, he was still told he had... And he went and said it.
That's my thing.
He made it public.
That's my thing.
I'm being told to do this, and I have to do what I'm told.
That's my thing. Because you can be jealous of LeBron. Everybody's jealous of LeBron.
I was about to say, who is it?
Your team had 18 wins this past season. You can't even...
Keep your mouth shut.
You can't even get the right damn coach for the right damn playing ability for the right damn players.
Right.
Why are you talking?
Right.
Why is your mouth open?
I think there's a small part of what I said that's true too, though, Bud.
Why are you speaking?
I think the jealousy also overlaps into not having the type of team that he would like to have, and that he's not coaching a team that he feels is worthy of him. You follow what I'm saying?
Guess what, Phil Jackson?
He's not God.
And I follow everything you're saying, but guess what, Phil
He's not
Jackson?
God.
It's not about you.
Well, it's not supposed to be, but he thinks it is.
It's not about you. Why is your mouth moving? Why? You lose Carmelo Anthony. If you can't win...
You are stupid!
If you... No, he lost him to injury. If you can't win more than 18 games with Carmelo Anthony on your team, you have a problem.
Right.
You have a serious problem. Yes, he got lost to injury, and that ruined their season. That shot the season down. No doubt about it. Why is your mouth open? Why are you speaking? I don't understand it. I don't get it. The Knicks are just an atrocity. And Phil Jackson's just not a god, ladies and gentlemen. He is just not a god. Yes, he has 11 rings. But guess what? He won all of them as a head coach. The head coach of Michael Jordan, of Kobe Bryant, of Shaquille O'Neal, of Scottie Pippen. It's just not fair. It's not fair that Phil Jackson's mouth is running. Focus on your team. Focus on your team. You have the number 4 draft pick in tomorrow's draft. How about you draft a good damn player? Let's start with that. Let's start with getting Carmelo Anthony back on the damn basketball court. Let's start with getting rid of the triangle offense, which we'll talk about later. Let's focus on the Knicks. Are you the president of the Knicks, or are you the president and god of basketball? I think you're the president of the Knicks. I think that is your job title. Therefore, you have that job title. You do what that job title entails you to do. You are the president of the Knicks. Stop criticizing a man that has been to 5 straight finals. If you're going to criticize LeBron James of traveling, you need to look at yourself in the mirror, man. Come on. Come on. At least LeBron James is on the court putting up triple doubles in the finals. What are you doing? Sitting at home trying to figure out your damn roster. Stop opening your mouth. Shut up. It's enough. I'm tired of hearing Phil Jackson talk. I'm tired of it.
I don't care if he has 111 rings. It's not him on the court.
I'm tired of Phil Jackson opening his mouth when he doesn't have the right to. I'm sick of it. Absolutely sick and tired of it.
Go on, I'm coming.
What? Why are you running your mouth? I don't understand it. If somebody, please, in the comments, email me at fullcourtpressdebate@yahoo.com. Somebody tell me why Phil Jackson's talking. I don't understand it. You don't have the right to be speaking. You don't have the right to criticize a man that's been to 5 straight finals just because you don't have the success that he has and you've never had the success that he has had as a player or as a coach. Because as a coach, the players win the rings for you on the court, as Yvonne said. I mean, come on. It's not fair. It's not fair that Phil Jackson...
Think back to when he was a player. How many rings did he promote for the team?
0.
There you go.
0.
So, the rings that he's got, I don't care if it's 11 or 111, he's not the reason that they won them. It's his teammates, it's his players that did it.
I don't know why he's speaking. I don't know. I just can't figure out.
Because he likes to see his name in the paper, and he likes to be quoted.
Well, you want to be in the paper? How about you start winning? How about that?
Yep.
How about that? Alvin Gentry, introduced as the New Orleans Pelicans' new head coach, is, quote, aiming for a New Orleans victory parade down Canal Street.
Yay!
That's exciting news.
Maybe a little premature, but
Yvonne
exciting nonetheless.
Yvonne Juneau. Is this too much pressure? Why or why not?
Pressure for who?
Everybody. The team, the coach, the front office, the Pelicans organization. This quote right here. Is this too much pressure? Why or why not?
No, because if you put it in perspective, would it be better to say, oh my God, I hope we can do the best we can do? He's trying to motivate. He's trying to motivate. Now,
Agreed.
if he had said, I expect us, don't go in mine, I expect us to make it to the finals, I expect us to be the best team, etc., then that would be a whole different ball game. But for him to say it, I think sometimes the words you use and the language you use, the phraseology, if you want to call it that, makes all the difference in the world. I don't think the statement he made, if those were his words and he said it that way, I don't think that's too much to ask. I think he's trying to boost the morale and give the fans, the front office, the team, the players, I think he's trying to be motivating. I think he's just trying to get them all excited and hyped up and motivated. I don't think that was an arrogant statement, and to be perfectly honest, if they do the job and they do it well, it's not that far out of the realm of possibility.
The key word that he used here was aiming.
Right. He didn't say, I expect.
He did not pull a LeBron James.
Oh.
And say not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. Okay, he didn't go that far. He said we are aiming for a New Orleans victory parade down Canal Street. Aiming means in the future.
Right.
In the near future, we are going to have a victory parade down Canal Street. He worded it beautifully.
Yeah.
He worded it perfectly.
Right.
All this is motivational talk.
Absolutely.
That's all this is.
And that's what you want from your
Correct.
Especially a new coach.
These are the first words that came out of Alvin Gentry's mouth as Pelicans head coach.
Well,
we already off to a good start.
Yeah.
Already.
I think that's wonderful.
Now, Yvonne, is a title out of the question this coming season? Why or why not?
Title.
A championship.
Like to win the whole thing?
Correct. Is that out of the question this season?
I don't think anything is ever out of the question. Would I say that it's a definite possibility? Probably not. Probably not. We still have some work to do till we get to that point. Number one, we don't even know how he's going to get along with the players. how they're going to gel.
I can tell you right now.
How they're going to function.
Wait, let me put that off right now. There will not be. I'm not going to say there won't be issues, but there is not going to be a player that will not get along with him.
Okay.
I know his personality.
And that's good to know. I think, down the road, this coming season, to win the whole thing,
so it's out of the question. Is it out of the question?
Nothing would make me happy.
Is it out of the question?
No, nothing's ever out of the question. No. Nothing's ever out of the question. Who the hell thought that Kobe would not be playing in this year's? I mean, nothing's ever out of the question. Okay? Is it a slim to probably not possibility? I would go there. Okay? It's hard to know. Ask me a month into the season. I'll be able to give you a better answer. Right now, number one, I don't mind saying on the air to the entire world, I don't know this guy. I don't know what his coaching skills are like. I don't know what his personality's like. I don't know how he's going to get along with the likes of Eric Gordon and Anthony Davis and Anderson and all. I don't know. You say he can get along with anybody. That's awesome. That's wonderful. That's what they need. But is he going to be that extra push and motivating factor? Well, obviously he's very good at motivation to make this kind of statement already. I think it's great. Time will tell. That's all I can say. I'm not willing. I am not willing to go out on that limb right now.
Is a title out of the question this season?
I think that's a little premature. But nothing would make me happier.
I think, Yvonne, that a title this season, I think it is totally out of the question.
Okay?
But not because of us. I think a title is totally out of the question because I don't think we can compete with Golden State.
Okay.
I don't think we can compete with the Clippers.
Okay.
I don't think we can, compete's the wrong word. Beat. In a series of games.
Okay.
Golden State.
The competition's too stiff.
The Clippers. Houston.
Okay, the competition's too stiff. We're not at that level yet.
Not yet.
Right. I know where you're coming from.
So for this coming season, yes, I think it is out of the question.
Okay.
But that's where my problem lies. No, I don't need a title this season, but damn it, I need a successful season for one main reason. And what's my one main reason?
Because we don't want to lose Anthony Davis.
You are absolutely correct.
Absolutely.
You do not have a better season than last year, which last year we did not have a bad season at all. We got to the playoffs.
I agree.
Which means you got to live up to it this season.
Right, because we never thought for a while there we'd make it to season.
You cannot downgrade.
No.
You cannot.
No.
Otherwise you're going to lose him.
Right.
And God forbid if we lose.
And they will be lined up around the block to get him.
God forbid we would lose Anthony Davis because you can chalk it up. You can chalk it up right now.
Oh, but that sounds like we're putting all of our eggs in one basket.
We're not putting all of our eggs in one basket.
And only counting on Anthony Davis to carry the team.
We just know how good he is.
Yeah, but we just went through that with LeBron. We can't do that.
We just know how good he is. Speaking of contracts, Dwayne Wade and the Miami Heat will discuss contract issues next week. Where we are with this, just to update everybody, is that Wade wants to re-sign with Miami. But Miami is not willing to offer Dwayne Wade $20 million a season. They want to kind of lowball it. Why? We don't know. Either Dragic or to make more roster moves. We don't know.
I promise you it has to do with paying Dragic.
Yvonne, what should be done here and why?
I promise you it has to do with Dragic.
Okay, but not necessarily, because Miami has bird rights on Dwayne Wade, as I explained to you off the air.
Right.
So Dragic's money really doesn't affect Wade's money, because you've got bird rights on Wade.
But let's be honest here, because we both love us some Dwayne Wade.
Oh, he's my third favorite player.
And it's very hard to talk negatively about him.
You can't. Negatively, you can't.
But he's got to do better than he did this season. But for him to demand or ask for that much
I
money,
don't think he's worth it.
he's got to go back to being worth that much money.
I don't think he's worth
You
it.
follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, oh no, I agree completely.
I mean, if you're going to stand there and look at me in my eyes and tell me I want $20 million, damn it, you better be worth $20 million.
a year.
Yeah. Then you better be worth
Over
it.
4 years, that's $80 million.
You better be
Over
worth
5
it.
years, that's $100 million.
You better be worth it. And he doesn't want to leave for a lot of reasons. He loves his team. He loves his teammates. He's got family ties.
The city.
Very deeply
He
rooted.
is responsible for all 3 championships that team has.
He's very deeply rooted in that community. His wife is there. His children go to school there. Family's there. I mean, he's got a multi-million-dollar home. He loves Miami. He wants to stay where he is. But on the other hand, as much as I love him, and it kills me to say this, how can he look in the mirror?
He ain't worth it.
How can he look in the mirror and say, how can I ask them for this much money looking at my track record from this past season?
He's not worth it. And you know what? Dare I say this, and hold on to your seat, because I never, ever thought I would say this. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Has he downgraded because LeBron left?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dare I say that?
I know, but it's true. It is true.
He doesn't look like the same player.
No. No.
He had
It's
flashes of, oh my
Yeah.
God, Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, that's the old, right, Dwayne Wade.
But dare I say he's downgraded since King James went back home.
And let's not forget, as much as I hate talking about their age, he's no spring chicken
No, he's
anymore. Okay? That's why he wants to lock into $80 or $100 million.
Oh, no, I know why. And you know what? In some people's eyes, he is worth it. But if you're honest with yourself.
If he played like he used to play, I'd say
If you're
yes.
honest with yourself.
But based on this past season, no.
He ain't worth $20 million.
I know that.
He ain't worth it.
I know that.
So,
But the saddest part is he doesn't want to leave. Because most of the time, the guys
if
that
they're not paying you, you say I'm out.
most of the time, the guys that want that much money or want that kind of contract or whatever, they don't care if they leave or not.
Mm-mm.
He doesn't want to leave. So there's a part of me that hopes that they keep him on no matter what they have to do. Okay? Because of his family ties and his wife and his children and his desire to want to stay with his team, because that means a lot.
So Yvonne, that's what I'm asking you. That's the ultimate question. What should be done here? He's a free agent. What should be done here?
Meet in the middle. He needs to maybe take a little concession on the amount of money he's asking for. It depends on what's more important to him. His desire to stay, his desire to be with that team, around family, friends, school, kids in school, all that kind of stuff. Or do you need to make that much money? You see, we haven't talked about that. Dwayne Wade has a very expensive lifestyle.
Yes, but he also makes a lot of money doing that.
I understand
He's
that.
got his own clothing line that he
I
puts a
understand
bunch of
that.
money into, but he gets even more money out of it.
Right, I understand that. He's an entrepreneur as well as a player.
And he takes care of himself.
Right.
And he takes care of his family, which I respect to no end.
Oh, yes.
Because first and foremost should come taking care of your family.
Right.
And he does that
Right.
maybe as good as Chris Paul. I don't think anybody's a better dad than Chris Paul. But, maybe outside
The
of LeBron, 'cause
relationship,
he's got
the
four.
relation,
But
well, no, the
it's
amount
just-
of children has nothing to do
well,
with it.
no, I'm saying, but
Okay.
he's got 4 children, and it's like
But
they're all balled up into
He
one.
and his wife's relationship, of course, who would not be able to get along with Gabrielle Union?
Or who would not be able to get along with Dwayne Wade.
Right.
You know, that's both
Exactly.
ways.
But if he moves and takes her out of her element where she gets all of her,
Yep.
because she is a famous movie
Oh,
star.
God. Yeah, you think?
She makes a hell of a lot of money too. That would disrupt their lives in
I agree with
every
you.
way, shape, and
I agree
form.
with you. I don't
So
think-
he's got to weigh the. Number one, he's got to be honest with himself. Look at what I did last year. Look at what I didn't do last
Right.
year. Am I willing?
Where am I
Am I
health-wise?
willing to maybe swallow my pride a little bit? I got health issues. I'm getting older. I didn't have that much of a successful season.
But
last
damn it,
year.
I can still win.
But I can still be a good player. And I want to stay with my team. I want to stay in Miami. My family's here. I mean, nothing's worse than jeopardizing your family and your marriage.
And I don't think anything means more to him than his family.
I agree. So I think it's going to have to be, it's all about compromise.
$20 million is saying a lot.
Yep.
And I don't think he's worth that, but damn it, he's worth $15 million. That $5 million makes a big
We
difference.
don't know if he drew a line in the sand, though, and
Exactly.
said, this is what I want, take
Right.
it or leave it, or because I'm going somewhere else.
Right.
Because they're going to be lined up around the block for him.
If he did that, you gotta pay him. I think you gotta pay him. You got bird rights on him, you're not hurting yourself. You're not hurting yourself. You're re-signing Dwayne Wade. You're not hurting yourself because you've got bird rights on
No,
him.
right. It's not taking out money
I
out
think
of
you gotta pay
anybody
him.
else's pocket.
I think you gotta pay him.
But on the other, I'm going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But then you got to ask yourself, what kind of message are you sending to the rest of the teams out there and to the rest of the players on that team?
Well, it's very
that
simple.
Dwayne Wade can make those kind of demands with bird rights, and you're going to do it and knuckle under to him?
They should knuckle under to him because he's responsible for all 3 championships that franchise has to their name.
Yeah, but part of the reason you're saying that is because we love him so much.
But that's a fact, though. That's a fact. You can't argue championships.
No,
I'm
I agree.
sorry.
I agree.
He's the only consistency there. Yes, LeBron has 2 of them, but Dan Wade has 3.
Okay, okay. Let's give him what he wants, and let's find him somebody to play with.
Well, now see, that's where we disagree. Chris Bosh?
He's not consistent, Bud, and his health now. But Chris Bosh is not, and his short fuse, his tactics on the court.
Luol Deng? Goran Dragic?
Dragic is leaving. When Dragic leaves,
Dragic ain't going nowhere.
watch.
Dragic ain't going nowhere.
Bud, you don't honestly.
What other team is going to offer Dragic $80 million? I wouldn't offer Dragic. It's Goran Dragic. Give me a break.
Boy, you and I have a difference of opinion on that
You
one.
really think Dragic is that damn good?
I think they think he's that good. I think they think he has the potential to be that good.
That's why they're offering $80 million. That's why he's not leaving.
Okay?
Because he ain't going to get $80 million nowhere else. I promise you that much. Because nobody else is that damn stupid. I would never.
Well, if you
He's had 1 good season.
if you give Dragic $80 million, then you
You
damn
better pay
well
Dwayne
better
Wade.
give
You
Wade
better.
$80 million.
Danny Ferry has been fired, and Mike Budenholzer has been promoted in Atlanta to be the president of the team and will remain acting head coach. He will take both roles. Yvonne, good or bad move and why? And is this too much pressure on Budenholzer? Why or why not?
I don't give a damn if it is too much pressure on Budenholzer. You don't do that. Are you kidding me with that question?
You don't do what?
You don't make the person the coach, and
They didn't necessarily make him that.
Okay, no person should hold two positions.
Okay, but they didn't necessarily make him that. Maybe they said, hey, if you want, you can be the president and the coach. They have to consent with him on that.
Then shame on him for agreeing to that. I disagree with that completely.
What do you think, he's going to go on a power trip?
Hello? Yes. And you have to think of things differently as the president. You have to think of things differently as the coach. In his mind, which position is going to win? They have decisions to make every day, not necessarily coming to the same agreement or the same decision, depending on the position that you have. So, is the president's opinion about certain things going to win always over the coach? Is the coach's position, where the players, etc., are concerned, is that always going to win out? You don't need a president. There's going to be conflict. There's going to be problems. And he has taken on more than anybody should be expected to take on. And if he did it for the money, shame on him.
I think that you're right, but I think you need to go further, and I think you need to actually analyze this. Because before we get caught up in the fact that he might go on a power trip, we need to realize that a president does not mean the same in every organization. A president doesn't necessarily have the same roles in every team. We need to ask ourselves, what does the president do as far as the Atlanta Hawks go? Does he hire staff? Does he hire players? Does he do day-to-day operations? Does he make all final decisions? We don't know that. It's different in every team. It's not the same. Because...
Okay, so what's the standard with them?
We don't know.
Oh, you should know.
I don't.
Okay, you should know based on their past presidents and coaches.
I don't know.
Who has the final say?
I don't know if Danny Ferry made day-to-day operations decisions. I don't know.
Never mind the day-to-day operations. If it comes down to the coach says it's going to be this way about something, the president says it's going to be this way about the same issue. Who has the greatest amount of power?
I don't know. I don't know. But Budenholzer does. And that's what I'm getting at. What if the president runs day-to-day operations? Do you realize what that would mean? That he could hire his own staff. He could hire the players that he wants to coach.
Right.
Do you realize how good Atlanta could be?
Do you realize how biased that would be?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Why?
It'll matter to the other players. It'll matter.
Yeah, it'll matter, but do they want to win? He could literally pick his own team and go after those players.
I think it's a mistake. Sorry.
It depends.
I think it's a mistake.
I think you might be right.
In day-to-day life, in running a department store, in running a hospital, in doing anything. I don't think any one person should hold two key positions.
And I'm inclined to agree with you. If the presidency holds that much value in their organization.
And has that much authority?
Correct. If the president's only job, like Phil Jackson in New York, his only job is day-to-day operations. That's his only job. So if Budenholzer would just be in charge of day-to-day operations, that's fine with me. Because You get to pick your own team.
Well, how can you not know based on who they've had in the past?
Because with the Danny Ferry racism thing, I don't know if they let him make those decisions. I don't know. But obviously Budenholzer
Well, they screwed up on that one, didn't they?
Obviously Budenholzer does. And you literally, you pick the coaching staff that you want, you pick the team that you want, and then you go out there and you coach them. What could be better than that? If that's as far,
it's giving somebody total control.
Atlanta asked for it. They asked for it. Okay? If that's as far as it runs, I don't see a problem with it. But if it's more than that, I see a big problem with it. Especially coming off of what they're coming off of. I see a big problem with it. If the presidency holds that much power in Atlanta's organization. Part 2 ends here. Part 3 coming up next.